my topic, the secret of longevity. People are concerned, they want to live a long time, where you are life, so you are eternal. That's the way it is. And that's the good news and the bad news in the sense, because the good news is full liberation from all suffering of any kind when we know and be who we really are. Because our nature is bliss. Our nature is pleasure of the soul. So this secret of longevity is to go with the flow, not be rigid. And noticing nature. If we want to go by the law of nature, not not common law or any of that sort of thing, but actually let's go to nature, not to some organization, not to some group, not to some teaching out there, that's where we can use all of that, but each one can become a trap that we get involved in. And then we become rigid. We become fixed in what we believe and what we think and what is possible. And if you look at and realize and notice what's going on as an observer, how much energy is put towards communication and electronics and technology, and the communication through visuals, movies, television, internet, sounds, words, all of these, and all of these go through the mind. And that this so much is the unconscious mind that we're just, in a sense, hypnotized by it and in a trance state, and so much is just going through that we're not blocking and saying no, not even this says out, it disappeared, reject, because it's not true. And when we're rigid, we can't handle change. Somebody else with a different point of view. We can't handle the destruction of our beliefs, because they're just fantasy, they're beliefs. You don't need beliefs. And beliefs are what are built into the mind, because then when you believe, if you believe, no. You have to know, and actually the word know, K-N-O-W, also sounds like N-O, no, and that's how the words are so constructed, in a sense, that even when we think we're rejecting something, we're actually bringing it to us, we're actually manifesting it. So the key then of longevity is if you're in the transcendental state, the state of the witness, the observer, you can watch. You need to know what's going on. You need to know how you're depowered. You need to watch, and as you can tell, like in nature here, there's a flexibility that up higher elevations, you have usually more snow and harsher winds and that sort of thing, and the trees and the plants that make it adapt to that environment, and they're not rigid. They allow themselves to bend and to flow and to dance. And the problem is when we join a group or any so-called religion or any, what would you say, government or any nation or any skin color, any of that, that's all local traffic that's keeping us, in a sense, in a box of limitations. And inside, in a sense, we want to break free of that, and yet our breaking free of something is actually resisting it and making it something because you want to get away from it, but it isn't it. This is also part of how the mind game goes, to keep us brittle, to keep us defending our beliefs and our body types and our nation and our this or that. It's great if everybody's different. I love different cultures and the different ways that people express and the different, because we are all already unified. We don't need to unify, just recognize it, obviously, because we have so much in common. And from that, we also have infinite variety that we are tapped into, part of that which is unlimited, infinite, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, and also a person. And as so many teachings say, it's impersonal, you'll move into the glob, you'll be in the light, you won't know who you are. No, you'll be who you are. I've been in all those places. And it was me conscious of being in those places. So you don't lose your identity. And the false identity is your degrees. That means the degree to which you have been controlled and dominated and manipulated to believe certain things and to propagate those lies out into the people for money, for what you think you're going to get from it, from the loss of others. So this keeping us in fear. If you don't have to have fear. People say, if you didn't have fear, you wouldn't know what's going on. No. You're just conscious, and you could observe and know what's going on, and you're going to automatically be moving and grooving in the way that is best for you, and also best for all at the same. All. You say, that can't be possible. Well, see, that's the limited mind. And that limited mind always tells you what you can't do and what's not possible. And then we're always nervous. The other people aren't going to be there or do what we want them to do, or something's going to happen from the outside, something's going to get us, and something's going to go. So we're kept in this anxiety box and this tension. Something's going to happen, something's going to happen. Well, yeah, something's always going to happen. It's got to be there now. That means when we're rigid, we're always trying to fight the effects. We're trying to fight what they're doing and fight what they're doing and come fight with me and I'll fight with you. And when people are talking that way and dealing that way, they're not very intelligent. And although you can have compassion for them, stay away from them. And the sense of it is when you're flexible, you go with the flow, because your mind isn't controlling you and how you feel and what you do. Who do you trust? Your mind or yourself? Okay. And see, whatever happened by ruining the name God, and it's a false God and a real God and this God and that God, by doing all that, it is also taking people away from their source and their partner and their beloved. And when you acknowledge and recognize who you are, then you can observe, you can be a witness, and you are steady. You're steady. And you go with the flow, and you're resilient, you see. But you're always who you are. And you can watch it, you see. And then notice how nature operates. Yeah. Secret of longevity. Be eternal. Nothing can harm or hurt you.